Hey YouTube and everyone else. So I'm sounds kind of funny because you're only gonna watch this from YouTube. But anyway, I guess I separate family members or just anybody else that might be familiar with me, that where I might send this video to them directly from the YouTube world. But um, this is, I think I had said 2 weeks or so um, in my previous video about the fish diet that this is like day 12 or 13. I'm not really keeping track like what day it is, but some people they do this for 3 days and then they're done with it. But I'm doing this longer for however long it takes for me to get that um, that flexibility going on again, that metabolic flexibility going on again, which I mean is kind of useless for me at this point, from a health point of view, because I don't see myself having a heart attack or anything like that anytime soon, although you never know. But for the purposes of, as I've said in the previous videos, for my mental health, for my, that kind of thing, it is important because I just felt like when I went on the low-fat diet, something didn't seem right. Like I was, I just felt like, I mean, I was able to function just like a normal human being or whatever, seemed like it, but to me, yeah, it was like, I wasn't like, I wasn't making any ridiculous decisions, like overspending or whatever. I mean, to some extent on groceries, because groceries are so expensive now, and gas and stuff like that. But it wasn't optimal. Like, so what I'm saying is now, I'm feeling like my old self, like at Berkeley and stuff like that, where I was pretty deep into what I was doing, or just kind of understanding stuff. And I would read books and stuff like at a pretty substantially comprehensive level. And I mean, there's no like IQ test or whatever I could take to show that, but I just know that with respect to those times, lately, especially with emotional processing, like, I don't know, I know for sure that I needed to focus on that again, and just to achieve more difficult mental goals that I have, or mentally challenging goals that I have. And I think one of my friends, when I explained this to him, he thinks I'm a little, he doesn't say it, but I get the impression that he's like, this guy doesn't make any sense. What is he trying to do? Like, and perhaps a lot of you think that as well. But it's difficult to explain this, because he's telling me like, oh well, he'd rather see me try to achieve a 5% body fat goal, and I'm like, and I'm thinking to myself, what the fuck, like, that is something that maybe I was heading towards, but what's that wasn't really what I really cared about from the start for all this. It was to get faster at my job and to get faster at things and have a more clear mind. That was the whole point, because I noticed I was getting panic attacks and stuff, and it was hard to keep up with my job and stuff like that. And I was like, the more I was trying to stick to having popcorn and black coffee, it wasn't working for me. That was how things started. That was back in 2018. And I was thinking like, well, how come I'm not doing work at the level that I thought I was? And it's just, things didn't make any sense at the time. I was like, why did it take a whole year to get a job as well? And I'm like, well, partially it's you, but partially it's, and I knew, like, you could watch my old videos. I was like, I was having Taco Bell every other day. and I was, living with my mom and um, complaining about. Well, I wasn't complaining, but I guess philosophizing, because my old self was like very deep with those things, right? About the nature of humanity and stuff and how it affected me, stuff like that. So, and I was also concerned about trying to get a job and maintain a job or whatever. And I've said before, like, I was operating off of a sense of desperation, which, I mean, maybe it's because I have a job now, but I feel like I just matured a little bit better. That even if that were to go away, it's like you're your own person, you know how to navigate. And I'm at a point now where I'm like, employment only goes so far, and everybody in employment kind of looks desperate in a way. Most of the people, and the only people that don't are the ones that have plans to move ahead and actually become self-employed. And even if you're self-employed, making half of the money, it actually all of it really is, it's all relative. It doesn't matter as long as you can afford to be there. Because like I said, I mean, if you make a lot of a lot of the differences of income with respect to the same kind of career, unless you're making unless you're a billionaire or you're the in the top 0.01%, all of these differences are all marginal in the sense that uh, in comparison to something like the uh, the value of health and the value of you know the value of being a human being. Actually, that's what I started realizing. And it may not seem like it from the outset, because you're like, well, that doesn't sound sexy, it's not impressive. But it's quite impressive that once the more you spend time living and understanding what life's really all about. So I'm just trying to give an update on this diet thing, and where things are headed. And I was very surprised this morning. I woke up and I checked my ketones. I was at 0.7. That's the highest it's been the last time since I've done a 3-day fast on like a second or third day. Might have been the second day, but and that was like, I don't know, maybe might have been like 40 hours in or something. And so, I mean, last time I ate was like 10 hours ago or something. But that usually I wake up and I'm seeing zero point 0.3 or zero point 0.4. So this is the highest it's been since that 3-day fast, and I don't remember when I did that. But to me, that's very impressive in the sense that everything's headed in the right direction. Um, I don't think I'm gaining weight because well, I mean, I should be weighing myself, but I'm checking my waist. I'm down. I'm actually down. I'm down from, but I think it's water weight. Like I'm down to like 30.5 inches on the waist now, and I still feel that weakness. Like I feel uncoordinated, and I think a lot of keto people feel this way, where they're just not very coordinated, but they don't care because they know they're getting health benefits. So in a weird way, your body feels paralyzed. Um, it doesn't feel, you don't feel airy. You feel like a big stone, and that's fine if you can get mental benefits because you don't care about your body as much, like the way that you move it. That's great. But what's ironic is that I noticed yesterday my I naturally wanted to move around more. So, for example, yesterday my caloric output, according to my watch, was higher than it's been in the last 2 weeks. It was like 2,700 calories. That's what it said. And well, since I started the keto stuff, so the fish diet, so, or the sardine diet, whatever you want to call it. And so that was also very impressive to me because, or it indicates that I'm getting used to this way of this extremely low carb. Yesterday I only had 15 grams of carbs, way of living, and you know, so, and then the other thing that I find interesting is that I actually I had what do you call it? Oh, that's right. I had more calories yesterday. I was like, you know what? Just eat, man. If you're feeling like this, you just need to eat more. So I stopped at like 1300, like 12, 1300 calories. I was like, fuck it, I'll just have a little bit more. And then I had more, and went up to 1800 calories. Normally I don't do that on fats on fats and protein. I usually get more satiated. But something was telling me that I should eat a little bit more because I don't know. I don't know why, but perhaps it has something to do with how much more calories I was burning, or according to my watch, like how much more activity I did. And so in this way, I'm getting used to living living the keto lifestyle, I guess you could say. But I'm not 100% trying to rely on fats and proteins. Um, I'm only doing this for a short period of time so that overall I can be more balanced in that sense. And there's going to be times where I'm going to want to do some projects, and like what I used to do, where I'm at the desk until 2 a.m. I'm at the desk until 3 a.m. And I know that's going to kill my sleep. But what matters more than anything is like that you're accomplishing these things that require just that mental output. So I was doing that 2, 3 years ago, and that's what got me to pass the PE basically. And I know at the time I blamed it on sugar. A lot of it was the sugar addiction, like that fueled me. But when it came to like the late night stuff, the late night push, the the times where I just said I'm gonna keep going, and that was like relying on fats. So overall, everything was based off of being overcaloric, of course. But it was like the sugar was more like something that helped me during the day. So obviously that led to weight gain, and I got up to 200 and I think my maximum was 220 pounds. Right now, I hover between 148, 147, and 153, 153 pounds. So, you know, substantial weight loss. But as long as I can control that, then I can stay around that weight, feel pretty good, feel clear-minded, and not like I'm gonna die because I'm working too long. And so, what would happen when I was working? I noticed. Well, you might think to yourself, well, if you did so much, why did you what made you think about health, or what made you think about this other thing? Well, I noticed that I would be able to put in the hours and get to a certain depth of thought. The difference between now and then is that I basically felt like I was dealing with, like, all of a sudden I got distracted by some sense of, like, I don't know if some health issue at that moment, like like I couldn't breathe. I felt kind of a little like off. I don't know how to explain it. And it would be random times where I get distracted by, like, also I would be like too horny. I get distracted by that. And I mean, I don't know, I guess to some extent I had a porn addiction. I don't know. I mean, I would just kind of, randomly do things like that, and if you know what I mean. But I would also be like, it just like these random times where I was like, why am I so distracted by just, some irrelevant thought that doesn't have anything to do with what I'm doing right now. I mean, yeah, that's kind of what's happening right now by me talking, but this video is eventually going to end, and I'm not going to be thinking about this all day. So I'm thinking to myself, why is this happening? Like, why do I feel like sometimes I would get up in the middle of some project, and I'd be like, maybe I felt really hungry at that moment, and then I would have to go and get some chips and then come back. Or sometimes I would feel tightness in my chest. I would feel like, we call it pinched nerve, or what was it called, um, acid indigestion. Or sometimes I would feel depressed about things, or sometimes I would feel like, at that moment I would feel like you know, like I was a bad person, and I would start thinking about myself, or the thoughts that I had in terms of like, oh, I'm such a bad person, I said this to this person, and I wish that nobody I wish people wouldn't I wish people didn't think I was so, you know, so mean, or I wish I had not been so mean. I wish I was this, or how come I can't, how come, um, how come I feel like I have to defend myself, or how come I can't just live a life where, you know, I treat people nicely and others treat me nicely. How come I would have all these thoughts, like, it was very distracting. So it was like this emotional roller coaster from time to time, and then I would also think a lot about my family, and like how, I'm like, they're you know and then I would get kind of sad about things sometimes. I wouldn't cry, but I would get sad about it, feel teary eyed, but not really, you know not really, not really cry too much. I mean, when I was at Berkeley, I cried, but I would have these like feelings and stuff like that. So, and a lot of it was all bullshit, because like if you think about it, like the ultimate thing is just like people are going to be the way they are, and so so it's like, if I had seen my grandma or something, who's now no longer with us, but then I feel like I had to be extra paranoid about what to do, or what to say, how to act, and stuff like that, because I'm like, and then on top, to make it worse, they would like touch my stomach and say like, oh, well, wow, you're getting fat, or something like that. I wouldn't say you're getting fat directly. They just like touch my stomach and kind of make fun of me like that. And it was kind of tough. Like, I didn't know, this was in my 20s, 23, 24, uh 25, 26, up to 29. And then somehow somehow like kind of greediness kind of got to my head, because I was like, well, I can make up for all of that negativity, so, and get rewarded today. Why not just go for it? I'm like, and I'm part of the whole hustle culture in the Bay Area, stuff like that. So yeah, I mean, if you look at my old videos, I was operating from that point of view. That was 10 years ago. And it was tough to get through, because that was my reality, and if I had been healthier, I wouldn't have had half of those thoughts. There just wouldn't come by. I would be able to see things for what they are, and be able to respect the environment, respect people better. Um, but I mean, we're here now. I'm my old self in terms of intellectually, or I'm becoming that way, and you know, it's no longer, I don't, I can see the value of the relative values of everything. Um, so yeah, I mean, it's interesting. Like, when you live your life, it's tough, man. It's tough. I would not wish for that on anyone else. I'd want to have a healthy progression of the thoughts and ideas of life with somebody. I wouldn't want them to, if I had a kid or something like that, I'd want to help them in a more, I don't know, healthy way, I guess, or something that's going to prevent them from thinking all these things and stuff like that. I mean, it wasn't that bad when I was 19, 20. It didn't start getting bad until I started drinking a little bit. So there was like an association with that, and stress from Berkeley. So once that started coming into play, it was like, and then you started overeating, and so this kind of transferred into all this negativity. And at the end of the day, it's like, if you just got healthy, if you just realize that it's okay to take care of yourself, just take care of yourself, take care of yourself, take care of yourself, you know, just take care of yourself. Don't worry about what you're thinking about. Just don't think about it, kind of thing. Don't think about it. Just as there's that one song by Fatburger, that's what it means to me. Don't think about it. And you got this roller coaster of emotions and stuff. It's like, as long as you just don't think about it, don't think about it, and just take life for what it is, you know, then you'll be good and make conscious decisions, or whatever you want to call it. So yeah, it was a struggle in my 20s for that, and I wasn't really. It's weird because I was trying to do hard stuff when I should have been handling my emotions. I should have been handling these things more. It was just, everything was just coming at me at once, instead of challenging myself at Berkeley so much. I mean, I wish I had gotten that degree sooner, or I shouldn't say sooner. I think everything went perfectly in my first 2 years of college, but then after that, I kind of let myself. Well, I knew someone that kind of fucked with my head a little bit. I won't say his name, and looking back, I feel bad for the guy. I mean, this guy, because he and I used to hang out all the time, and he's like, bro, try it. He got me into drinking, because I was trying to tutor him in calculus, and he couldn't pass calculus 1, even after 6 tries or something. Won't say his name, but yeah, I mean, like, if I let myself go nowadays like that, oh my God, I might get back to that. And one of the things that's helping me out is the fact that, like, I'm actually working for a firm that actually values you as a person in a way, more than other places, like my previous job. They actually, they give you free a free, like, checkup and stuff. I know every company feels obligated to do that, but I mean, at least they do that, right? They give you that option and stuff like that. So, it's pretty cool. But yeah, it's very interesting how I feel. I still feel like I'm dragging myself a little bit. Like I said, I went on a run. Well, I mean, the activity that level yesterday was a lot higher than it has been in the last 2 weeks. And so I'm just kind of getting used to how this feels and stuff like that. And I basically, I'm strategizing now, because for me, it's less important to perform well at the runs. Like, my VO2 max actually went down from 61 to 58, and I know why that is. But who cares? I mean, I'm not like getting paid to run or whatever, so it is what it is. And yesterday I actually went on a 4 mile run. But see, my strategy is changing such that now, instead of forcing me to just go when I'm active, I'm letting myself, like, slow down a little bit. So after 4 miles, I strategized. I said, just walk, just do a walk for, just walk. You should walk for how many minutes? Like maybe 10, 15 minutes, so that you can lower your cortisol. Because I think part of what's happening is the cortisol is starting to get released, which affects my ketone levels in the long term. And so that is difficult to overcome to some extent. Yeah. So I just, do that, and then, one second. So I just and just do that, and then you know, instead of like forcing me to just go crazy with the runs, I actually slowed down after the 4 miles and walked just half a mile maybe for about 10 to 15 minutes, and that allowed me to calm down a little bit. And I never do that. I just go straight into the just sitting down or something, which is, I think you have to slowly come down from a high stress situation, especially when you're doing keto and you have no carbs in your system. So I did that, and I think it worked out better for me. I think I have to strategize a little bit more, be very more careful about my stress level, my stress response when it comes to exercise. And one of those things is probably going to involve the sauna more often. I think I'm going to do that more. And I have been taking Shilajit as well. So this is all going to help. And, you know, it's kind of weird because in a weird, ironic sense, my whole goal is just for mental health, but it actually might make me slim down a little bit more in a weird way. But yeah, I'm at 0.7. Probably going to, it looks like I'm going to be doing this for another 2 weeks. And yeah, low carb, just you just feel crazy. Like you feel like you're dragging yourself everywhere, like you're a big stone. Like like when I'm in bed too, and I have to go pee or something, like it's like a chore for me just to get up, you know. But what's interesting is that once I actually start doing something, as long as I'm like in the flow of whatever I'm doing, like if I'm doing some chores, like, you know, washing dishes or whatever, then it's not so bad. It's when you actually have to start you have to change position or change a certain routine, that it's like you have to consciously get yourself up, like you're a, you know, you're trying to carry a big bag everywhere, a 50-pound bag or something. Um, and it's just like, it feels inconvenient, feels crazy, but that's just because you don't have enough carbs in you to coordinate everything. I think a lot of these keto people like Jason Fong, Dave Asprey, they feel the same way. I think they just accept it after a while. Um, and it kind of forces you to be more conscientious of every little choice that you have, every little move. And some people might attribute this to low blood pressure. Maybe I do have low blood pressure. I don't know. I need to take it. But yeah, thanks for watching. I just wanted to give more of an update. And we're slowly getting there with me starting to focus on mentally challenging tasks where, you know, I wanted to get that one maglev paper out. I wanted to, you know, there's just several things. I want to get the SE, you know, the structural engineering license, which of course is a very challenging thing. And my grandpa did it. He had his SE license, and, you know, maybe, I think at this point it's all computer based. I think the pass rate is like 5%. I could be wrong, or 15% something. And they say it's on par with the law exam. It's like, what the fuck, right? It's crazy. Sorry, my language, but actually, it really is a WTF moment. But anyway, thanks for watching.